today I'm going to talk to you about skin retouching. So I have our model here in the image we're going to be working on today, and I just want to create a new layer with the background. So I'm going to go up to layer and hit duplicate layer and hit OK. So first we're going to work on the blemishes, and I'm working with the patch tool. You can hit J on your screen, and I'm just going to use the patch tool to select around some of the blemished areas, and we drag those areas to some clean skin nearby. You can see that it is dragging to lighter areas and darker areas. We don't want to go too far from what the actual area is, so I just drag it nice and close so that once it changes with that selected area, it's not going to be a drastic in color difference. There's a little black spot fleck there, some little spots on the side. So her skin's already really nice, but that would be the example of if you had acne, you could do something like this. You can also use this for some finer lines, but I wouldn't go crazy on the fine lines because you can totally get rid of them and sometimes it looks unnatural. You could do this on a separate layer and lower the opacity so that you could still see them, but they just be softened. Okay. So now I would flatten that, go up to my history tab, and I take a snapshot just so I can go back to that if I make any mistakes. So back to my layers tab, we're going to duplicate that background again. You can drag it down to the layer icon, and we're going to fix the under eyes. So we'll do the left eye first. Hit my J for the patch tool and select under the eye, and we're going to drag that to some clean skin, and then we'll lower the opacity. We just want to soften the area, but we don't want to get rid of it. And then I would flatten. You can do layer, flatten image, or you can do Shift Command F. Again, I want to duplicate the layer so I can work on the other eye. I still have the patch tool. We'll select under the eye, drag it to clean skin, and then lower the opacity. We want to make sure they both look equal as far as the amount of softness. And then I would flatten. So I'll take a snapshot of that as well. So here's our before, and this is our after with everything done so far. The next thing I want to do is adjust the tone and the color of the skin to even things out. And I'm going to use my brush tool and the eyedropper tool to select color in different areas I'm working in. So first I want to make sure my brush opacity is down to about 18%. The flow could be at 100. And then the type of brush we're going to use is an airbrush, soft round airbrush. So once I have my brush, my soft airbrush and the opacity down, I'm going to select with the letter I on the key, which will get my eyedropper. I'm going to select the area of color that I'm going to work in. We're going to work under the eyes to just soften this color here. So I like to pick a color kind of right in this general area where it's not too light, where you're getting highlights on the cheekbone, and it's not too dark right under the eye. So I'm going to select a color there, hit B for brush, and we're just going to brush in just to kind of soften the area, blend the colors together. Same here, select that in that area there just to kind of soften and lighten. And you want to kind of keep selecting colors as you move to blend. And this is going to cover, this will cover the big pores and just soften everything up. When you're working around areas with blush, you want to make sure that you're selecting the color of the blush so that you're staying dark. You don't want to go too heavy on this because it can start to get unnatural. And it's better to err on a little bit more light than selecting dark color. So again, we're just smoothing out her skin, making things nice and even. And then we'll work up here. This is a really great tool to use or technique to use if you're fixing glare on a forehead. You can take away the glare by selecting the natural color of the skin and coloring in the glare. Now it doesn't always look so natural, but it's a way to help. We're just softening up the forehead lines up here as well. So we'll zoom out. This is your original before, and this is after with all the skin retouching we've done so far. I would take a snapshot of that so I have an example to go back to if I need to. The last thing I would do is use a little dodge and burning. And that tool is actually part of the Totally Red Actions. It's a yin and yang, or you could use a regular dodge and burn as well. But this is easy for me. And I like to lighten up the eyes. So we have a layer mask we'll be painting with white onto the black for the lighter. So anything I want light, like the whites of the eyes, I can just paint over. And I can also kind of highlight under her brow bone there, maybe in the corner of the eye, or any areas that I just want a little bit more lightening on. And dark, I can darken around her iris, any of her makeup areas, her eyebrows, or maybe where the shadows maybe should have came in just a little bit darker to give some contrast to the face. If you make a mistake, you can always hit X. That'll erase anything that we painted on to the layer mask. And then I would flatten that image. So here is the before, and here again is the final. And those are the basic skin retouching tools that I would use. If you have questions, leave a comment, and I'll try to get those answered for you. Thanks for watching.